everyone, Mitch coming in for the Commander's Core studio. Welcome to the show. So on today's episode, I've got a fun one for you. Well, depending on your definition of fun, commanders that make you the archenemy every single time. Some players actually like that, some do not, but you're one of them. This is the list for you, and if you're not one of them, this is the list of commanders to look out for. Let's jump into them. And first, perhaps number one on this list, perhaps the most feared commander when it comes to, well, you sit down and you're like, all right, this is happening. Okay, all the other three opponents were like, yeah, that's what we're going for, right? Send triplets, a 3/3 legendary artifact creature, human wizard for 5 mana, and Esper. At the beginning of your upkeep, choose target opponent. They're a very unlucky player. This turn, that player can't cast spells or activate abilities in place with their hand revealed. You can play cards from the player's hand this turn. Yeah, just a very invasive commander, let's say. It is a commander that says, you know what, I'm changing the rules of this game. You don't get to do things right now. Okay, you just don't get to, all right? No spells, no activate abilities, all right? You can't do that. And then also, I get to play your cards. They are my cards now, basically. It's basically I have an extended hand. So not only are you shutting someone down, but you're also actively stealing from them too and utilizing their best resources against them and the other players as well. Yeah, this is a card, this is a commander that is synonymous with salt in a way, and also definitely a commander that literally, as soon as you sit down at the table, if this commander is out, you're like, all right, archenemy, take that player out, please. Yeah, send triplets, definitely, if not the top of the list, toward the top of the list. Next up, an oldie but a goodie as well, Nekusar the Mind Razor. And by goodie, I mean good as in very powerful, but maybe more like a baddie. Okay, anyways, a 2/4 zombie wizard for 5 mana in Grixis. Beginning of each player's draw, so that player draws a card. Whenever an opponent draws a card, Nekusar deals 1 damage to that player. Yeah, this turns like one of the most enjoyable parts of Magic into like, oh gosh, I actively don't want to draw cards. Like, no, please. Nekusar is aggravating, is archenemy for many reasons for opponents because, well, number one, again, it turns that, hey, all right, I want to draw cards into a bad thing, number one. Number two, an incredibly effective way to do this for a Nekusar deck is to go, I'm going to cast every single wheel in the world. Sometimes multiple wheels in the same turn. So it is impossible for opponents to actually plan against this one. It is like, okay, I've got my plan. And all of a sudden, all right, winds have changed. Okay, well, I guess I'll wheel and just lose my hand. Okay, here's a new plan. All right, I got to figure out what my new cards are. All right, what am I going to do with this? And then by the time you figure that out, the Nekusar player casts another wheel. It's like, well, you know what? It's just chaos the rest of the game, basically. So again, chaos plus damage for drawing. There's a reason why Nekusar is definitely an arch-enemy commander. The second, again, you sit down at the table and you see it, you're like, all right, this is going to be one of those kinds of games. Opponents? I guess that's what you call you and the other players that are opposing the Nekusar player, right? Let's team up and take them out. Taking a different path, though, let's talk about, well, in many players' opinions, the least threatening color out of all the different color combinations in Commander, and that would be mono white. I guess technically colorless would maybe be, but like colorless kind of has some advantages as well because you can utilize like all the utility cards very easily. Regardless, all right, Elishnorn, Mother Machines in mono white. Yeah, mono white, you're like, okay, not that threatening. How can it be archenemy? Well, yeah, just inherently being like, I'm going to shut everything down at the beginning of the game. That can be definitely a way to become archenemy. A 4/7 for Phyrexian Praetor of Vigilance for 5 mana. If a permanent entering the battlefield causes a trigger ability, permanent you control to trigger. Triggers this whole time. Permanents entering the battlefield don't cause abilities of permanents your opponents control to trigger. Basically, Panharmonicon for you and nothingness for your opponents. They do not get any ETBs, which literally can just shut down decks. Again, if your deck is built around ETBs, if you got like a Brago deck, you're like, all right, what do I even do? I mean, like, okay, I've got a Muldrifter. It's a 5 mana 2/2 flyer. All right, that's garbage. Okay, yeah. All right, next up, another player like, oh, okay, I've got an Avenger Zendikar. Okay. Yeah, not all that great. Yeah, 7 mana for, what is it, like a 5/5 or whatever it is. It's bad now at this point. Yeah, it basically just shuts down certain strategies completely. And again, rubs it in their face and shows, hey, you know what? My strategy is going super well because I double up all those ETBs. So again, because of that, and because ETBs are so prevalent, it can definitely be an archenemy commander. The second you sit down, you're like, I'm playing a Brago deck. I need that player gone. Hey, other players, can we take that player out, please? Moving on, and yes, I've got a vendetta against this commander. Why do you ask? Tergrid, God of Salt, a 4/5 god with menace for 5 mana in black. Whenever upon sacrifice a non-token permanent or discards a permanent card, you may put that card from a graveyard on the battlefield under your control by flipping it over. Well, you've got Tergrid's Lantern. Basically, infinite mana, you win. 4 mana in black. Tap, target player loses 3 life unless they sacrifice a non-land permanent or discard a card. And by paying 4 in black, you untap Tergrid's Lantern. So again, the backside is literally this, oh, you have infinite mana, you win, because this card needed that. Regardless, on the front side again, we have basically It That Betrays, but in the command zone and so much cheaper. And also, by the way, taking into account discarding as well. Absolutely insane. Yeah, they pushed this a ton, number one. Number two, again, kind of brings about an unwelcome atmosphere with certain kinds of strategies. It's like, okay, I'm all about resource denial for you, and I basically steal your things. It's kind of like a different version of Send Triplets in a way, because, yeah, you can steal things from people's hands by basically forcing them to discard them, which is very easy to do in this color combination. Mono black. Being able to just go like, hey, you know what, everyone, let's just discard 3 cards. Okay, everyone just discards 3 cards. Oh, by the way, I just gained all of those things that you discarded that were permanents. Thank you. They're all mine. Or just utilizing an edict effect. I mean, even a simple, like, innocent blood, like 1 black mana. You're like, all right, cool. Hey, everyone, sacrifice creature. Oh, I get those. Those are mine now. I just stole 3 creatures for 1 mana. Oh, darn. Yeah, there are absolutely insane, crazy things. It is a commander that is, well, too easy, number one. Number two, again, is such a detriment to the board that basically, yeah, this should never be allowed to stick on the board. This is an archenemy commander that needs to be dealt with right away. Speaking of a commander that you definitely do not want sticking around, Toxrill the Corrosive, a 7/7 slug. Who thought that we'd be so scared of a slug? 7 mana in black. It says, beginning of each end step, put a slime counter on each creature you don't control. If creatures you don't control, get -1/-1 for each slime counter on them. Whenever a creature you don't control with a slime counter on it dies, create a 1/1 black slug creature token. But this is actually a Dimir commander because you can pay Dimir, sacrifice a slug, and draw a card. Yeah, this commander does a lot, and basically what it really does is it just says, hey, you know what? We don't really have a board anymore for your opponents. Your opponents can never keep any creatures in play. Again, the second that this hits, it's like, okay, all right, guys, start the clock. Basically, you're going to be like, all right, counter, next turn counter, next turn counter. Oh, things are dying. Oh, I'm so sorry. Next turn counter, next turn counter. It doesn't even matter how big your creatures are. Eventually, they will be corroded down into nothing. And of course, as a Toxrill player, you've got access to, again, Dimir, which has a lot of proliferate effects. You can even speed that process up if you need to. It's absolutely crazy. It is a commander that, again, if it's not dealt with, opponents literally cannot play creatures, because if you play a creature, it's just gone. Again, if you play anything smaller than a 5/5, it is going to get taken out before your next turn starts, really. I mean, on your next turn, regardless. It's going to be gone. So, again, it does not matter how big your creatures are. They are not safe from Toxrill, and Toxrill can be a toxic commander. So, definitely arch-enemy worthy. In a somewhat similar way, we've got Maha, Its Feathers Knight, a 6/5 elemental bird with Flample for 5 mana in black. I just like how, just for whatever reason, over the past however many years, it's like, yeah, you know what? All right, yeah, it's already got flying. Throw Trample on it. Why not? It's already, 6/5 for just 5 mana. It's evasive. The Trample through, all right. It's got Ward, discard a card. And by the way, creatures opponents control base toughness 1. I mean, this could itself just be a 1/1, and it would still make this list. It would still be a commander that's like, yeah, I don't care if that's tiny. It is insane what it does. Again, making it so your opponent's creatures have base toughness 1, again, is not it's an asymmetrical effect again. It doesn't affect you. And because of that, well, you can really take advantage of certain things where it's like, yeah, okay, I just have this thing in play that just all creatures get -1/-1. I don't care. Just being able to go, all right, all the creatures get -1/-1, or again, a very simple spell. It's like, yeah, ping everything for 1, or everything gets -1 temporarily. You just keep wrathing the board for your opponents again and again and again, all while your creatures are completely fine. So again, you can either shut it down, where again, like Toxrill, opponents literally cannot play creatures. Unlike Toxrill's like, okay, you can't play creatures because they're going to get taken out before you can utilize them. This one's just like, no, literally, like, if you play the creature, it's just gone because your base toughness is 1, and I've got things in play already that give them -1/-1. So all of a sudden, you play it, and it's just gone. This is a commander that can shut down the board. Definitely an arch-enemy style commander because, well, it's a big old mean bird. Moving on, the commander that really, I would say, opened things up in a way for the design of Commander because they really pushed Urza and have been pushing certain ones since. A 1/4 Human Artificer, 4 mana in blue, Urza, Lord High Artificer. When it enters the battlefield, you get a 0/0 colorless construct artifact creature token with gets +1 for each artifact you control. By tapping an untapped artifact you control, you add blue. By paying 5, you shuffle your library, exile top card until end of turn. But play that card without paying its mana cost. Now, here's the thing about this one. Yeah, I mean, every single piece of this is pushed. It definitely didn't need to be making, like, a construct that can be, like, game-winning for you, especially just on an ETB, that if you keep blinking this, you're like, yeah, I've just got an army of, like, 10/10s, cool, good for me. Even more than 10, probably, at a certain point. Regardless, obviously, the key piece of this one is everything you control is a mana rock. And again, the way that this is worded, it's not like your artifacts have tap for blue. No, it's better than that because it says tap an untapped artifact you control, and there is a difference because the actual effect is on this, and it grants it to those artifacts, meaning that, yeah, you are just being like, oh, okay, yeah, I've got this construct in play, artifact creature, it's got summoning sickness, but I don't care, I can still tap it for mana right away. So you even get a mana back from this, which is absolutely crazy, but yeah, you can just grab just a miscellaneous pile of artifacts and chuck them at an Urza deck, and it's probably still going to be an incredibly effective deck. It is so powerful, and of course, if you got some haymakers in there too, you're going to be able to play them very quickly, or just, oh yeah, I don't have anything really in my hand, so like, you know what, I'm just going to dump a bunch of mana into this mana sink and just randomly shuffle my library, and oh, look at that, I hit this giant thing off the top. Oh, great, expropriate, yes, I get so many extra turns, or all your things. Yeah, there's a lot of disgusting, amazing things you can do with this. Obviously, in mono blue, you've got a lot of options of what you can do when it comes to punishing your enemies, including just taking all the extra turns as well. There's so many cool things that you can do with this one, and so powerful, that's why it is arch enemy. Moving on, Shalai and Halar, a 3/3 Angel Elf with Flying and Vigilance for 4 mana in Naya. Whenever one or more counters are put on a creature you control, Shalai and Halar deals that much damage to target opponent. I mean, this is just ridiculously worded. I mean, again, like, I think sometimes Wizards over-limits things. It's like, oh, that's sorcery speed, or activate only once each turn. Yeah, okay. Sometimes they over-limit things, and other times it's very obvious when they don't at all. And this is one of those times when, like, maybe you should have changed this just a little bit. This commander is one that is too easy. It's too easy. It definitely is. They made it so that it's like, yeah, you know what? Whatever you do with counters, that's an absurd amount of damage that's coming out. It is so easy, again, with a go-wide type strategy to go, okay, yeah, I got, like, 10 creatures in play. All right, I got this little effect that, like, puts, like, a counter on each creature I control, or, like, 2 counters on each creature I control, or whatever. All of a sudden, you're like, yeah, just dish out, like, 10 or 20 damage. Cool. Proliferate. Okay, cool. More damage. Oh, I give this lifelink. Cool. Gaining life with that, too. Oh, I've got one of these, like, 5, 6, 7 cards, whatever it is at this point, that combos with this, that they're like, okay, I'm like, I play this. All right, I guess I win. Cool, infinite damage, yay, good for me, yay. Yeah, this is a commander, again, that is already pushed. It also has so many combinations for combos that just end the game as well. That is most definitely an arch enemy commander, and no one can convince me otherwise. All right, next up, Kinnan, Bonder, Prodigy. Kind of a combination, I would say, of, like, Urza and Shalai, and, like, when it comes to why this is Arch Enemy Commander. A 2/2 Human Druid for 2 mana and Simic, also super low to the ground for whatever reason. Whenever you tap a non-land permanent for mana, add 1 mana of any type that permanent produced. What other mana doubler is this cheap? I mean, this is literally, okay, and you might be like, well, it's only non-land permanents. Okay, but there's so many of those things out there. I mean, Mana Dorks, obviously, Mana Rocks, and all the other things. Regardless, pay 7 mana in total, and Simically, top 5 cards of your library, put a non-human creature card from on the battlefield, but the rest of them on your library in random order. Yeah, being able to just go, okay, again, like Urza, I've got a a mana sink that I'm never basically out of options of what to do. Also cheating into play massive things, obviously. And of course, with this, again, the combo potential for it. Again, just like, oh yeah, Basalt Monolith, whatever, infinite mana, sure, as early as like turn 3. I mean, probably even earlier, actually. Regardless, this is a commander where you're like, okay, hey, you know what I'm going to do? All the things. I get all the best things. I'm in a pristine color combination. And even if I'm not comboing, the amount of value I get is just absolutely absurd so quickly with such a low-to-ground commander that even if you deal with it, I'm getting it back out quite easily. It's insane. Yeah, Kinnan, Bonder Prodigy, if you never played against it, be wary. Definitely an archenemy commander. And finally, Stellarly Wild Card. Perhaps the most ridiculous pre-con commander ever made, and that is saying something because, I mean, Tulane, Corvold, all the other ones, but we've had some ridiculous pre-con commanders, but this one was like, what are you doing, Wizards? Yeah, I mean, if you just have just the straight-up pre-con, okay, just the pre-con, non-adjusted, okay, I will say it is not archenemy, all right? It is not, because there aren't infinite combos in there to my knowledge. But if you've adjusted it ever so slightly, yeah, there are so many combos in it, it's insane. A 2/4 human rogue for 3 mana, and is it whenever you cast your second spell each turn, exile the top card of your library until the end of the next turn you may play that card. It didn't need that. It didn't need that text at all. Tap, copy target, it's a source spell you control. You may choose targets for the copy. Activate if you cast 3 or more spells this turn, as if that is a restriction. Again, like literally like, hey, well, it's a big restriction to copy something in that way. Yeah, you gotta cast 2 other spells, basically, and then your third one, you start copying it, basically. Yeah, it's absolutely crazy that they thought that that was actually a restriction. You're just like, okay, yeah, cantrip, and then the actual spell that I want to copy and go infinite with, any kind of, like, Cerulean Wisp type card that's like, oh yeah, I untap this infinitely and just draw whatever I want. I mean, technically there's a way to stop it at a certain point. You have to stop because if not, you're gonna draw yourself out, but yeah, you got so many ways to win, essentially, when you are doing this. It's absolutely crazy. There are so many different combinations that you're just like, yeah, okay, I've got, like, Magecraft triggers, whatever, and I just have this one thing that just untaps this. I'm like, untap, and then all of a sudden you're like, yeah, okay, by the way, I win with all those Magecraft triggers, or Dramatic Reversal, I win. There's so many different combinations that win with this. It is so pushed. And again, unless you are literally just playing pre-con out of the box, it is archenemy. And with that, this episode is coming to a close. As always, comment below with your thoughts on it. And of course, as always, thanks again and have a good one. This show and episodes like this one are possible thanks to viewers like you. If you're looking for an easy way to help support this show, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Also, hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss any new episodes. You can also go check out our playmats and other merchandise at thecommandersquarters.com. Another easy way to support this show is with our TCG player affiliate links. So whether you're buying a deck or individual cards, you can use this general link right here or one in the description. And the final way that you can support this show is by supporting us directly by becoming a patron. There are many benefits to being a patron, and I truly couldn't do this without all of their support.